But we got a result in game one of the NFL season. Late fourth quarter, inside 3 minutes, Dak Prescott dots one to his star wideout, CeeDee Lamb, who can't haul in the long ball. That was on 2nd and 10, now facing a 4th and 3 at the 2-minute mark. Dak gets the look he wants to CeeDee again, puts it out there for him. 88 can't haul it in. A couple key drops in the second half. Champs 24-20 is your final, behind the arm and legs once again of Jalen Hurts, who goes for 152 through the air and 62 on the ground. The Birds, now 15 in a row, started and finished by Jalen Hurts. Joe Musso, pleased to be in studio alongside my guy, Emery Hunt. Bryant McFadden joining the conversation as well, fellas. Spitting, taunting, and lightning, the opener had a little bit of everything, and I want to start where it started. Before a single snap, Jaylen Carter gets shown the door because of an unsportsmanlike conduct, spitting on Dak Prescott. How do you characterize that moment that led off this season?
Yeah, that was the worst way to start a season for Jaylen Carter, because now it has ramifications not only for this game, but also for the rest of the season, or at least for the near future, because can we trust you to keep your cool, keep your composure if this sets you off? Whatever happened between him and Dak, this was just completely unacceptable, violated man code 101. And it's just a shame because he's such a great player, and they sorely needed him tonight. Although they got the win, this is a big loss, and it may even be a subsequent loss in another game.
You got to learn to control your emotions. We knew this was going to be a very, very high energy like atmosphere when you talk about opening night, Thursday night football, when you talk about two divisional teams that don't like each other at all. And that's the first thing you do. Jaylen Carter is the best defensive player on the Eagles team. He's one of the best interior defensive linemen in the National Football League. He didn't participate in one snap. So this is something that he has to learn from, but Nick Sirianni got to nip this in the bud immediately. And now we don't even know if he will be punished by the NFL also, outside of being kicked out of tonight's matchup. So instantly when he got kicked out, it was like a sigh of relief from the Cowboys sideline and clearly from their fan base, because they felt like the opportunity was there, and we saw a nice, successful drive to start the game, not having Jaylen Carter in the lineup.
Yeah, when you are the better team in a matchup, you're looking to snuff out hope of your opponent. You offered hope there early. 0 sacks here for the Philadelphia Eagles. We knew it's going to take some time for them to get their edge rushers up to speed. The pressure is going to come from the middle, and with the big fella not available, we saw a lack of pressure, which made things even more difficult on the back end. In the end, it is a 4-point victory. B-Mac, what did you make of the offensive execution from there, from Philadelphia? A lot of the same core tenets that we saw throughout last season: run the ball effectively and a dual threat quarterback that can make you pay in two ways.
Yeah, what Jalen Hurts was more impactful running the football. For some reason, the passing game wasn't there. New offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo has to find a way to get things going in the passing game. Most importantly, get A.J. Brown going, right? It was all about Dallas Goedert tonight. But outside of that, Jalen Hurts became a playmaker running the football, and they needed that. I mean, he had a pedestrian night throwing the football, but what you did not get from him in the air, you received on the ground. And that's who he is. That's why I love about Jalen Hurts. You can say whatever you want to say about him not being a playmaker, not being a high-level quarterback. He is a guy that gets things done, either running the football or just improvising, and we saw that tonight. And I can tell you this much, it was a very, very sloppy game by the Philadelphia Eagles. But at the end of the game, they had more points than their opponent, and that's the most important thing.
You talk about it all the time, B-Mac. He creates a math problem, that sort of dual threat quarterback. You got to account for one on the quarterback. A couple of those red zone early in the game. They do not. A couple rushing touchdowns for Hurts. I want to take you there, Emery, because I'm looking at 44 points, 0 punts before the lightning delay. We got 0 points, 2 punts, and a turnover on downs after it. Did you see the stoppage affect the flow of the game or the outcome in any way?
It did affect the flow because both teams are going up and down the field. And we even saw that toward the back end of the second quarter when Dallas drove down the field and got in field goal range to get the 3 points to cut it to 21-20. But then after that long extended break, both offense came out sputtering, and what we did see from Philadelphia on both halves was a lack of getting the ball to A.J. Brown. He had, one catch for 8 yards?
Late.
So we have to find a way, if you're the offensive coordinator, to get him involved early. We joked about this in the pregame, like, hey, maybe they're going to pepper him with targets on the opening series. We didn't see him get a target until late in the second half, and then they really didn't have success running the ball inside. Dallas, surprisingly, was stuffing the inside run. A lot of Saquon Barkley's big runs and a lot of runs that we saw Jalen Hurts have came off scrambles, and Saquon Barkley's runs came off tackle. So they have to find a way to get that push on the interior. Landon Dickerson obviously is a big part of that. He wasn't able to go 100% for the full game. So there were some things he got to work on, but granted, it's the first game of the season. It's like the fourth preseason game, essentially. We'll see them get this thing figured out.
We'll call them coachable opportunities for the defending champs, both in-game and in between plays. The selfishness is a word that comes to mind of Jaylen Carter in that situation, to put his team in the situation he did for the remainder of this game. We did see Dak Prescott's role in that interaction as well. I'm sure it will be picked apart ad nauseum in the hours to come. I want to move forward with some more football here, BMAC. This is a head coaching debut, and that was kind of swept under the rug with all that was going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer had his guys ready to play. They had an opportunity to win this football game at numerous junctures coming out of that break as well. What did you make of the readiness of the Cowboys under their new head coach?
You know what? I love the rhythm that I saw, in the first half, and I do believe the stoppage in play, it halted the chemistry in the rhythm, but both teams had to deal with the same circumstances. But I love the rhythm that we saw from Dak Prescott. Most importantly, guys, Dak Prescott looked really, really healthy. He looked confident. Javonte Williams looked really, And that's the thing about the Dallas Cowboys, guys, when you talk about trying to be a playoff caliber team, a championship caliber team, you got to make the routine plays happen routinely. That's what good teams do. That's what good teams do. You talked about the highlight coming into this post-game show here with CD Lamb missing that catch. That's a routine play, especially for your superstar wide receiver. What about the third down missed opportunity on the dig route? The ball goes through CD's hands and hits him in the face mask. Pops up and you fumble the football. Guys, what was the final score of the ball game?
24-20.
Thank you. At that moment, you're going in to score 7. Philly didn't score another point. Those are the things teams like the Cowboys, they have to get out of their system. Just make routine plays happen routinely. If you do that in a consistent way, you'll come out on top more so than not. And that's what we saw. You change the dynamics of any one of those plays that I just highlighted. The Cowboys probably would win this ball game.
Emery, it's a quarterback and a head coach that feel like they maybe maximized what they could have done in this football game for the Dallas Cowboys. Some issues that BMAC points out around it. But again, there was an opportunity for Dallas to come out here with no air in their balloon after the last 7 days. A week removed from trading away the face of your franchise. What did you make of their effort in this opener?
I love the effort. And what was fascinating about this whole thing, guys, was we thought coming into this ball game, we expect to see calamity on defense. But the defense actually held its own throughout the course of the game. The calamity came on the offensive side, where BMAC talked about the drop passes, the fumbles, some blown assignments, another drop pass in the end zone by the tight end. Granted, it would have been a tough catch, but you got to make those grabs. Defensively, the interior defense in particular was...
What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's Victor here with Dallas Cowboys Today. And buckle up, because today's story is one of those blockbuster rumors that could flip the entire future of America's team upside down. Now, you've seen the headlines, you've heard the whispers, but could Jerry Jones actually pull the trigger on a trade for Shedeur Sanders? That's right, Deion Sanders' son, one of the most polarizing quarterback prospects in football today, might be on the Cowboys' radar. And I've got to be honest with you, this isn't just some throwaway rumor, this has teeth. But before we break it all down, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and let me know in the comments. Would you want Shedeur Sanders in Dallas, wearing the star, waiting in the wings behind Dak Prescott, or do you think it's just media noise? The Dak Prescott problem. Let's start here. Cowboys family, Dak Prescott. He's been with us for almost a decade now. We know what he is, a good quarterback, a leader, a guy who can rack up stats in the regular season. But when it comes to the postseason, that's where the story changes. Dak is just 2-5 in the playoffs, averaging around 280 yards per game in those appearances, and that's simply not good enough for a franchise that hasn't touched the NFC Championship game since 1995. And here's the part that should scare you. Over the last 5 seasons, Dak has only suited up in 57 out of 83 possible games. That's just 68% availability. And now, at age 32, coming off another serious injury, how much longer can we count on him? Why Shedeur Sanders fits the Cowboys narrative. Here's where it gets spicy. The Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders with the hope he'd develop quickly, but reports out of camp and preseason are saying the transition has been rocky. Timing with receivers is off, reading NFL defenses has been slow, and he hasn't exactly looked like a plug-and-play star. Meanwhile, Cleveland is thrilled with veteran Dillon Gabriel, who's actually been named QB2 ahead of Shedeur. That's not what you want if you're a first-round pick, and Gabriel's rise could make Shedeur expendable. And that's where we come in, because Jerry Jones has a history of making splash moves for stars with name power. Just think about it, pairing the son of Deion Sanders, the Cowboys' most iconic defender of all time, with the star on his helmet. Jerry would love that headline. The Browns' motivation. Now, why would Cleveland even consider this? Simple. They don't see Shedeur as an immediate fit, and they could flip him for picks or a roster piece they actually need. Dillon Gabriel is already holding that QB2 spot, and Joe Milton, the guy the Cowboys are currently evaluating in preseason, hasn't exactly inspired much confidence in Dallas, so it makes sense for both sides. The Browns get value, the Cowboys get their quarterback of the future, and Shedeur gets to sit behind Dak Prescott for a year or two, learn the ropes, and be ready to take over once Jerry Jones finally admits it's time to move on. Why this matters right now. Here's the bottom line, Cowboys Nation. Dallas is stuck in the middle. We're good enough to win 10 or 11 games, but when it comes to January, we're not close to the Eagles. We're not close to the Commanders, who just retooled with Jaden Daniels. So what do? You start thinking long term, and if there's one thing Jerry loves, it's a shiny, headline-grabbing quarterback who can be marketed as the next big thing. Shedeur Sanders in Dallas isn't just a football move, it's a business move, it's a legacy move. And after trading away Micah Parsons, don't think for a second Jerry isn't desperate to win the press conference again. So here's my question to you, Cowboys fans. If Shedeur Sanders was available and the Cowboys had to give up, let's say, a day 2 pick and a future mid-rounder, would you do it? Would you bring in Shedeur as the QB2 right now behind Dak, knowing he could be the next face of the franchise? Or are you sticking with Dak until the wheels completely fall off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to be replying to as many as I can because I really want to know what Cowboys Nation thinks about this one. And don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe to Dallas Cowboys Today, and share this video with your fellow Cowboys fans because trust me, this conversation is about to heat up. Until next time, it's Victor. Go Cowboys!